Hey guys. So I guess here we go. The more that I live in this world, the more jaded I become. Maybe it's because we live in a particularly rough time. Unlikely. Maybe it's because we have unprecedented access to knowledge that before had been kept under lock and key. Perhaps it is because we have finally found the outlets in television and the internet to finally satisfy our desires for the inane, the stupid, and the downright disgusting. We live in a day and age where real conversation, is a rarity. We're all much more comfortable talking about what a terrible person Kanye West is, how much we like Kate Middleton, correcting people's grammar on forums, and checking how well our fantasy football teams are doing. We live our lives in text format rather than in the real world. I know. I do it too. Routinely not answering my phone. Not because I'm busy, but because I don't want to trap myself in with another solitary human being. Hell, I'm meant to go out in the world and become a professional artist with a capital A, and yet I can probably count on my hands how many times I've talked about something that really and truly matters to me since I began my post-high school education. Why would I possibly talk to somebody about legitimate issues that I'm having when I can ask them how their Thanksgiving break was, or how their finals are treating them? Why would I ever ask someone to deviate from the script that we all seem to know and love so well? I suppose I wouldn't. Of course, y'all know the direction that this is headed in. This is an assignment where I am supposed to remark upon the state of the art to demonstrate just how much knowledge I have gained throughout this semester. So here goes nothing. Art is still alive and kicking. But we are doing our damnedest to finish it off. Of course, we think that we're doing it justice. We think that we're making these pieces of theater that speak to people's minds and make these grand statements about society. But therein lies the problem. We are making things that we want to speak to our audience, to move them and make them think. And what a valiant thing to do! What could be nobler than the artist in shining armor coming to save our damsel in distress of an audience? Nothing, of course, could be more deadly. It seems that we've gotten away from what makes art what it is. And the real reason why the statement art is dead has persisted for so long. It seems that each piece of art that we create is a little piece of our soul ripped from inside of us and placed into a context for everyone to see. Soul only lives so long outside of ourselves, though. Its death is completely inevitable. The second that we write our soul down or let it soak into a canvas, the clock on its life begins ticking, the alarm going off before we even have a chance to snatch it back. And this is where we in theater have a distinct advantage. We don't use a canvas to create our art. We use real, live, breathing, moving human beings, complete with a soul of its own. There's no need for me to tear out a piece of my soul and throw it onto a stage filled with so many of them already. Because we're so obsessed with this sadomasochistic ritual, we have failed to notice that we are as much in distress as the audience that we have been ludicrously trying to save. We shouldn't be pushing art that will save society as a whole because they're too obsessed with this little screen lying in front of them to notice anyway. No. Rather than cleaving this bit of ourselves and placing it on a silver platter for all to gaze at, we should be examining what it is that we are giving up so freely. As Brooks said, there comes a time when no one must worry himself about the results of his efforts. Even decades later, I believe that this is something we all need to be reminded of. Theater will remain sitting on death's stoop, ringing the doorbell from time to time until we can remind it of its purpose, to live. Rather than producing things to move our audience, we should be producing things that move ourselves, things that awaken our souls, not because we are hacking off a part of it to show our tortured beings, but because they invigorate us with a compassion and with desire. Because maybe, just maybe, if we can remind ourselves that we can be moved, everyone else will remember too.